Wow. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about losing a lot of different friendships that I've had with, I would say, liberal friends or people that are just very disagreed with my opinions, my political viewpoints for some reason. I'm not entirely sure if they're liberal, but kind of the assumption we're kind of disconnecting so fast for having, all kinds of different opinions. Basically, I started having issues with friends disagreeing with my politics. So I would notice I would be hanging out with people and kind of just talking about what was going on like Reddit or what was going on in the news. And this was actually before I even started making videos. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm thinking back to the situations that I was having with friends over the summertime. Well, I was actually, kind of just doing my own thing, just having fun and, all kinds of stuff, right? So I wasn't even really thinking about politics all the time. And not even like just in person with friends. Like I feel like afterwards, well, I started making videos, then everything started becoming worse because I feel like it's one thing when you talk to somebody in person, you're just kind of saying your political viewpoint really quick, and then they could just kind of, be rude to you or whatever. That's usually the response that I got is just pure rudeness. On no other level that I've ever got this from any of my friends. But online, if you're not going to talk to somebody, if you don't want to talk to somebody anymore and you're completely done, then the best way to do that is with silence. And that's usually the tactic done by the majority of people that are online. When they're through with somebody, when they're finally completely done, that's what they do. They usually just ignore them. They'll delete them, they'll block them, or maybe they just won't message them or even look at their stuff for a long time because they're done with that. And that's okay. You totally have the right to do all of those things. Usually I try to avoid that unless I'm just completely done for all kinds of different reasons, really. So that's why I'm not completely hating on, those choices. Why not? You are in a free country. You can choose whatever you want to do. But I think that if you want to do these kind of things, why decide to not talk to somebody just because they have an opposite political viewpoint? I might not agree with liberal politics, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that I don't want to be friends with somebody that is liberal. I mean, seriously, it doesn't mean that that's wrong at all. Am I going to agree with your viewpoints? Am I going to vote that way? Are you going to force your beliefs on me? No. And that's what I hate about everybody having this whole drama. Like, what are you doing? There are good people on both sides. So at the end of the day, it's just this whole entire show for nothing. When you really think about it, we're all the same. We need to try to get along, but at the same time, yeah, ridiculous policies. We have to put our foot down. Like, me, I mean, I'm pretty sick of a lot of stuff that I can't stand. It's like, I don't even care. If you don't want to be there for me and you don't care who I am, like you don't want to support me, you don't want to be my friend, you think that I have a different viewpoint, so all of a sudden you're not going to talk to me, good for you. Go ahead. Go talk to every single person that's going to be the exact same type of person that you are, because that's a really boring life to live. If you're only going to talk to people that are exactly the same and they only think the same, how are you ever going to have a different perspective in the world? Oddly enough, by actually talking to people with other viewpoints, not always in every single case will that be true, but you will learn a lot. You really will. If not, if you are, kind of talking to people and you're at least trying to hear them out, then you're still going to learn something about the other side. For my situation and what happened, I am definitely not proud of this. I don't think that this is something that should have occurred, but unfortunately, this has definitely just gone completely out of control. I mean, to the point where I don't think I even have, one liberal friend now that I really think about it. No, it is completely to the point where all my liberal friends are gone. I mean, there's some people where I just don't know their political viewpoints. Of course, you would just say that, yeah, somebody is Republican or somebody is a liberal or, independent or whatever. Like, some people do not voice their opinion on that kind of stuff. So I'm literally just talking about certain people. I think what's actually really pissing off people is because I'm a Trump supporter, is because I actually do agree with a lot of conservative politics. So whenever I talk about those issues, then I start getting a lot of backlash. And the thing is, I'm not even gonna care anymore. Why care? You have to think one way or the other. If you're always going to care what other people are thinking, what your friends are thinking, they're going to be holding you back. I mean, you have to think independently for yourself. And if somebody has a problem with that, then they can just go away. They can go be with somebody else, be friends with somebody else. I mean, really, that is up to them. You don't have to change for anyone. Like, I let people just get to me. I was getting really sad. I was blaming myself because I'm like, wow, what if I just toned it down with my videos? What if I just kind of stayed in the center and I didn't actually voice my real opinion? Because that way I couldn't offend anyone if I was just completely unbiased. But yeah, that's not what I do on my channel. That's not what I do online. I like to express the way that I actually feel. Although I could probably get a bigger audience if I was talking about things from the left, things from the right, and not even having an opinion on it. If you've had a friend or maybe even a family member that has completely just stopped talking to you because of your political viewpoint, they don't want anything to do with you anymore, then just move on from that. And it's okay because you're not alone. A lot of people, they're experiencing very similar situations with just losing people left and right. Well, it looks like that's all for this video, so I'm going to have another one coming very shortly. Stay tuned, go check out some of my other videos, and I'll catch you next time.